Welcome to Hamilton Southeastern High School for Hoosier Crossroad Conference matchup between the conference-leading 17-3 Brownsburg Bulldogs and the second-place 15-5 Hamilton Southeastern Royals. My name is Tyler Groves, and I'm joined by Turner Graves. And Turner, it's a pleasure to be with you tonight. Not only will we crown a conference champion, but it's also senior night for the Royals.
Yeah, thank you, Tyler. And yes, it is sure to be a very exciting game here at HSE. For the 5 seniors, DeAndre Rhodes, Michael Veely, Elliott Robinson, Cole Hornbuckle, and Mabor Majeg, it'll be a very emotional game, as this will be the final game in this gym that they play in their high school career. And this tonight will, of course, be emotional. It is also a very important night, not only the seniors, but for the whole team. With a win, the Royals will walk away with a share of the HCC title leading into sectionals, which would be a huge confidence boost for a team in a crucial time.
Yeah, Turner, hard to believe, but there's only one game left for the Royals after tonight, as they are at Lawrence North next Thursday. As for Brownsburg, they came in on a 4-game win streak and look to win the HCC title outright. The team is coming off a 4-point win against Noblesville last week. Pierce Thomas, led the way with 17 points for them to get the win. He and Malik Edmonds, the team's leading scorers, will have to play a big role tonight. Before we get to the action, let's take a look back at HSE's huge win against Carmel last week. And as you saw, a huge win last week for the Royals as they beat Carmel in a huge game, 62-61. Vinny Busilla, as you saw, made the game-winning 3-point play in the final seconds. I myself was a little bit premature on the free throw, Turner, as he looked like he was going to miss it, but it went in, thankfully, for the Royals as they won their 11th straight game last week and look to make it 12 tonight. And we're going to pause for the national anthem and player introductions. It's once again going to be HSE Principal Chad Kripe doing the introductions tonight. They have a spotlight for the players. All 5 seniors for the Royals are starting. It will be a cool moment for all of them. And we'll be back before the tip on Southeastern Sports Network. And welcome back to Hamilton Southeastern High School as we're getting ready for the tip. And I failed to mention earlier from our highlight video, shout out to David Woods and the SSN social media team for making that video last week off the win against Carmel. Unbelievable job by them, and we cannot thank them enough for all that they do for us on the live stream team. And here we go. Royals versus Brownsburg, conference championship on the line. If Brownsburg wins, they win it outright. If HSE wins, they share it. And the Royals win the tip. And Turner last week, a lot of early turnovers for the Royals. Got in a hole against Carmel. Can't have that tonight against a good Brownsburg team.
Yeah, especially against a good Brownsburg team. As you mentioned, HSE's got to play really clean basketball, really smart basketball.
And Majak on the jump hook gets the Royals on the board 2-0.
And another big thing from the last week's game against Carmel, Mabor got in foul trouble pretty early, so he wasn't much of a force, and then did end up fouling out about a couple minutes
from
the end of the game.
To go, yeah.
So I feel like he needs to be a big force tonight inside and make sure stay away from those fouls.
He missed a lot of those shots last week, so it's important that he makes those tonight as he did on the first possession. As I mentioned in the open, Brownsburg 17-3 on a 4-game winning streak coming in tonight. Both teams on streak. Royals, one of the hottest teams in the state as Majak gets the rebound, coming in on an 11-game winning streak. As miscommunication between Hornbuckle and Rhodes, but it goes out of bounds off of Luke Lacey.
Yeah, and there was one almost potential turnover here early. We got lucky. The Brownsburg man tipped it out of bounds, but nonetheless, HSE does retain possession. Let's see if they work inside of Mabor again.
All 5 seniors starting for the Royals. Michael Violi getting his first start. And Hornbuckle inside, up and no good. And Brownsburg back the other way. Jacoby McGowan now to Luke Lacey, and now it's Connor Lucas. Brownsburg taking their time on their second possession. And out of bounds off of Lucas.
Yeah, good job by Brownsburg, not forcing anything, not really taking any shots they don't want to, but too much passing, and HSE ends up deflecting it and deflected off of Brownsburg, so HSE ball.
Hornbuckle now with it for the Royals. See how long Satterfield keeps the seniors in before he goes with his regular rotation. Veely no good on the 3, but a foul inside on Brownsburg.
And Malik Edmonds there. Looks like he's going to pick up his first.
And to Hornbuckle, who looks to make a move and does, up and in for 2 points is Cole Hornbuckle. And a 4-0 start for the Royals.
You know, Cole Hornbuckle's averaging right about 11 points a game this year. He's been a great piece for this Royals team, and as we mentioned, a senior, so.
And a turnover on Brownsburg right off the foot of Jacoby McGowan.
And as HSE was plagued with the turnover curse against Carmel, it looks like Brownsburg might be having a little bit of issues keeping the ball in their way, but a good job by the HSE defense, creating havoc early.
Brownsburg has beaten HSE the last 3 times they've played over the years. Something that the Royals are going to try to break tonight to get a share of that conference title, as DeAndre has it. And he's trying to work inside, gets it stripped. Veely is able to get it. And now deflected out of bounds. And gets it into Majak, and now back to Hornbuckle. And it goes off of Brownsburg. Kind of looked like Cole might have been pushed.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, but no call. It does end up HSE ball, though, so no harm. And they're working it inside to Mabor.
And a nice one from Mabor. He's made both shots he's taken so far tonight.
And if that continues, Brownsburg's going to have a long night guarding in the post.
And nice block from DeAndre Rhodes, but he steps out of bounds, and it will go back over to Brownsburg.
DeAndre had an emphatic block last game. Almost had a dunk, too, but was so close. And making his impact felt on the defensive side early.
Yeah, a lot of blocks last week for the Royals against Carmel. And they have their first one tonight as another turnover for Brownsburg goes right off the hands of Malik Edmonds. And the ball goes back over to HSE. Tyree Lackey checks in for Brownsburg. And Connor Lucas will go to the bench for them. All 5 seniors still out there for the Royals as we're getting close to halfway. And Majak slams it down. Royals off to an 8-0 lead.
Yeah, and the crowd's telling them to raise the roof, as they often do in Rabor's dunks.
Rabor has 6 of the Royals' 8 points. A nice rebound from Hornbuckle. Royals maybe looking to go at a quicker pace. Inside to Rhodes, and he's able to get the layup.
HSE's had their way inside early against Brownsburg. Brownsburg really not doing anything to stop HSE, as we've seen 10-0 with about 4 minutes left in this first quarter. Let's see if Brownsburg can make some adjustments.
Great start for the Royals. Wonder if this Brownsburg team is a little bit rattled as the crowd's starting to get into it a little bit. Down 10-0 early. A nice move, but another block from Rhodes and a foul against Brownsburg.
Everything going right for HSE thus far.
Rhodes blocked McGowan's shot. And HSE will now have possession, as it looks like Maviwi's just getting some instruction from Coach Satterfield. Looked like for a moment he was maybe checking out. And now a timeout by Brownsburg. Head coach Steve Lynch does not like what he's seeing. And we'll take the break with him. We'll be back with you in a moment, I should say, on Southeastern Sports Network. And welcome back to HSC. You're looking at the boys basketball HCC conference winners from the start of the conference in 2000. These are all the winners in Hoosier Crossroad Conference history. And as you've seen, HSC has won it 8 times, 6 of them outright, 2003, and then they won 5 years in a row from 2010 to 2014, and then they've shared 2 of them in 2005 and 2016. Brownsburg, in their own right, have 2 conference titles, one outright in 2004, and then they shared it in 2018 with Zionsville. And, of course, if they win tonight, they will win it outright. If the Royals win tonight, Brownsburg and HSC will get a share of it. So big game for both teams tonight. Senior night for the Royals. Tyler Groves and Turner Graves on the call as the Royals, up 10-0 early, have come out blazing with still all 5 seniors on the court.
Yeah, this all-senior lineup has come out inspired, and they know it's their night, and they're trying to put on a show.
As Hornbuckle with the mid-range jumper gets it to go. Brownsburg the other way with McGowan, who has it now. And a corner 3, a foul called. Connor Lucas will go to the line.
Opportunity to put Brownsburg on the board. And just about 3 minutes left in the first quarter.
Connor Lucas does average 13 points per game. Obviously none tonight, and looks to get Brownsburg on the board and gets his first free throw. As Busilla is getting ready to check in for Ville for the Royals. And the second shot, Lucas gets the roll. And a nice hand for Ville as he checks out. And Lucas is able to convert all 3 free throws and gets the Bulldogs on the board as Hornbuckle thought about it and now gets it back. Into Majak. Hasn't missed so far on the night, but a bad pass turnover, and they're going to call foul on Busilla.
Yeah, HSE has fed Mabor all night. It looks like Brownsburg maybe getting a little anxious in there, knowing what HSE is doing. And as we saw, they double-team Mabor and force the turnover.
Pretty good foul, really, from Busilla. I don't think he meant to do it, but it keeps Brownsburg from getting the layup. Bulldogs been stagnant on offense so far. Haven't really gotten anything going as Lucas will shoot a long 2, but Majak with the rebound, and he gets fouled. And we'll see who they called on. It goes on number 4, Tyree Lackey. As Sam Jacobs checks in for Elliott Robinson. 2:39 left to go. Royals are off to a great start at 12-3. Trying to build on their lead and continue their momentum heading into the second quarter.
It looks like Brownsburg has come out in a 2-3 zone, and they're trying to deny the ball from Mabor.
He'll pass it over to Hornbuckle, almost another turnover, dangerous pass. And Busilla will spot up for 3, no good.
Yeah, a lot of full cross-court passes by the Royals there. And
another turnover for Brownsburg. Jacoby McGowan couldn't handle it.
I believe that's 4 turnovers for Brownsburg just 6 minutes into this game.
And Majak gets fouled inside and 1. And he'll go to the line for 1. And he hasn't missed yet tonight, Turner.
He is not. He's having his way. If this keeps up, it's going to be a long night, as I mentioned earlier, and it's going to be a very big night for Mabor on senior night.
Usually he struggles a little bit inside with the layups and the hooks, and tonight he has been automatic. Got in foul trouble last week. Wonder if that probably didn't help him on the offensive end as Majak knocks in the free throw. Very underrated part of his game is his free throw shooting.
And that puts his total up to 9 points so far in the game out of HSE's 15.
Matthew Schultz is checked in for Brownsburg. And he has it now, and a bad pass by him, and Hornbuckle steals it, and he misses the layup. Just a little bit too strong on the layup, and back the other way for Brownsburg is Lucas, who shoots a mid-range jumper, rebounded by Hornbuckle. And back and forth we go. Now McCall to Hornbuckle. Royals doing a lot of passing, moving the ball quick, and just a bad pass from Majak way over the head of Hornbuckle.
Yeah, the only really bad part of Mabor's game so far is those 2 turnovers. As we mentioned, those passes when he gets double teamed and maybe a little bit pressured into getting the ball out.
And he checks out, and Dalton Retzner comes in for the Royals. And Quentin Bragg checks in for the Bulldogs. He replaced Luke Lacey. Bulldogs only 3 points in 7 minutes so far. Great defense from the Royals and some unforced errors on Brownsburg's part. And inside, no good, but the follow-up is good by Jacoby McGowan.
A great effort there, not giving up on the shot. Now HSE makes.
See if they hold for 1 shot or if they'll go quick.
Just about 30 seconds, it might look like they will hold.
Not a bad idea. Up 10, might as well hold for the final shot and see if you can add to it. Great start to senior night for the Royals as those seniors came out and played really, really well. And now the usual players. As Retzner will shoot the mid-range jumper, no good. 5 seconds left. McCall fighting for it, doesn't get it. as Lucas the other way shoots the three-pointer, and it is no good. And that is how the first quarter will end. Royals up 15-5. And just a great start for the Royals, and we'll see if that will continue in the second quarter. Southeastern Sports Network is made possible by Sky Zone and Fishers this year. Come and fly with them this winter. Sky Zone and Fishers off 121st Street, reminding you to have fun and fly safe. A big shout out to Sky Zone, who's sponsoring every broadcast for all 3 sports seasons this year for SSN. And SSN's winter sports coverage is brought to you by Jimmy John's on Olear Road. Jimmy John's provides freaky fast service in-store or through delivery. A big thank you to Jimmy John's for the support of Southeastern Sports Network. We'll be back for the second quarter on Southeastern Sports Network. Stay with us. And Brownsburg getting ready to start the second quarter. Luke Lacey with it. Down 15-5. Not a good start for them. And almost, it looks like a turnover. Busilla didn't look like he didn't want to grab it because he thought it might have been over and back. But Royals do gain possession. And into McCall. And a bad pass by McCall. And great job by Lucas, able to hold on to that ball, and Brownsburg has possession. And a drive inside, out of bounds off the Royals. Quentin Bragg on the drive.
And that turnover to start the quarter, for Brownsburg notches their turnover total up to 6. And obviously not what you want if you're down here early.
And Turner, if you're head coach Steve Lynch, what do you do on the turnovers? What are you telling your team? Maybe just to calm down?
Yeah, you're down 10, now 8 as they make the layup. But oftentimes when people are down, they just ditch their offense, maybe just try to get the quickest shot, maybe not the smartest shot, and that often does cause turnovers. So I would just say calm down and make sure to not fall into HSE's defensive pressures.
And a nice pass in from Retzer into McCall, but he's no good on the layup. As Brownsburg in the fast break, blocked by Cole Hornbuckle off the glass. But it is rebounded by Brownsburg, but we have a stoppage traveling on Malik Edmonds. And Turner, at this pace, Brownsburg is on this pace, Brownsburg is going to have 20 turnovers tonight. That is not good if you're a Bulldog fan.
You cannot win a basketball game with 20 turnovers, especially a great game like this for a chance at the HCC title.
Yeah, they definitely want to win it outright. Don't want to have to share it with these Royals. As it goes inside to Retzner, and he's able to get the jumper to go. 17-7 now for the Royals. As a quick three-pointer back the other way is no good. And Hornbuckle gets it to Jacobs, but knocked away. Busilla inside, no good on the layup. Did have a nice Euro step, though.
Yeah, great move, just couldn't finish.
And another block from Hornbuckle.
We've had great defensive effort and great defensive plays from the whole Royals team thus far. And picking up right where they left off from last week's game against Carmel.
And Majak checks back in for Cole Hornbuckle.
Now Cole with 2 points, 2 assists, 2 blocks, and a rebound.
He's played very well tonight, doing all kinds of things for the Royals. And a three-pointer is no good for McGowan. He hesitated a little bit. You wonder if that messed with his shot a little bit. As Jacobs, and now back to Busilla. Brownsburg still in the 2-3 zone, able to get it inside to Mabor, and a nice layup. Had to go to the other side.
Yeah, Brownsburg was fronting Mabor, and when you do that, it just gives him an easy layup. Didn't give a body between him and the basket, so he just had to turn around in an easy reverse layup.
And another turnover for Brownsburg. Nice job by Majak to stay in bounds. Into Rhodes, and he just misses it. Just short on the shot. Coach Lynch yelling out the play to his players. And a foul on Rhodes. And Alex Totten will check in for Dalton Retzner. And a mid-range jumper is good from Malik Edmonds. Cuts the lead to 10 with 5 to go here in the first half. See if the Royals can continue their offensive ways against this 2-3 zone. A lot of cross-court passes. And another one to Totten for 3 is good. Alex Totten, who had a buzzer beater last week at the end of the first half against Carmel, starts off his night well with a made three-pointer. Royals shooting very well in the first half.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but that was HSE's first 3. The rest of their points either the charity stripe or inside.
And Brownsburg will shoot a 3, and it's good. Jacoby McGowan. He's now up to 5 points on the night. And Majak inside, and he traveled with it before he was able to get it off to Jacobs.
Yeah, Mabor's played well so far, but when he is double-teamed and facing hands in his face, he might, as we saw the travel there and a couple turnovers, but maybe Brownsburg has found their answer. I guess we will see.
Just needs to calm down a little bit in those double teams and find the open guy, as there always will be, as if there's 2 guys guarding him.
He's got to remind himself that he is about 7 foot, so he can just hold that ball up and look.
And another 3 is short. And Jacobs the other way for the Royals, and a turnover as Bragg now has it for the Bulldogs. And good ball movement, but out of bounds off the Royals, I should say, and it'll stay with Brownsburg. And another turnover for the Bulldogs now. 9 on the night. As Jacobs turnover again. Now Bragg for the Bulldogs back the other way. Gets fouled. And some of the Brownsburg coaches want goaltending, but they're not going to get it.
Yeah, but keeping track of those Brownsburg turnovers, they had 5 in the first quarter, and with just under 5 minutes passed in the second, they have 4 more.
Quentin Bragg hits the first free throw. The junior point guard averages right around 6 points a game, and can cut the lead to 8 if he hits this one, which he does. A little bit over 3 minutes to go. Royals up 8, 22-14. As Brownsburg still in the 2-3 zone. Royals haven't done as good of a job against the 2-3 as they did early on against the man-to-man. As another turnover for the Royals, this time against Busilla, and he tries to take a charge, but they're going to call a block as he was not set, and an and-one opportunity for Luke Lacey.
Yeah, HSE is struggling against this physical 2-3 zone that Brownsburg has brought out. When they were running man, they could just give it to Mabor, and he would go to work inside. But now with this zone, every time Mabor would get a look, they collapse inside, force a turnover there, or even with all the cross-court passes that HSE's had to make, obviously some of them are going to get tipped and go the other way.
Yeah, a few lazy passes and a few just not timed well, as the free throw is no good, but Brownsburg's able to get the rebound. And a nice tip away from Totten, but it'll stay with the Bulldogs.
Looks like we have a timeout, HSE.
Yeah, they took a moment to call it, but all the coaches and players stood up, so that gave us the indication that they were calling a timeout. And with that, we want to remind you that Southeastern Sports Network is made possible by Sky Zone and Fishers this year. Coming in to fly with them this winter, Sky Zone and Fishers off 121st Street, reminding you to have fun and fly safe. A big shout out to Sky Zone, who's sponsoring every broadcast for all 3 sports seasons this year for SSN. And Jimmy John's and Fishers on Olear Road is supporting Southeastern Sports Network winter sports coverage this year. We want to thank them and give a shout out to Jimmy John's for their sponsorship, which brings you SSN's live winter sports coverage. And I've been saying this every week, Turner, but we are looking for a spring sponsor.
Yes, we are.
And if your company or business is interested in that, you can contact the athletic department or contact us through our social media, either on Twitter or Instagram, and we would love to partner with you and get you part of our broadcast.
Yeah. Also, if you're an HSE student, maybe one of your parents has a business and you might want to ask them, any possibilities would work, and we would be glad to partner with you guys for the spring season.
Like I mentioned earlier, Royals finish off their season next week against Lawrence North, obviously one of the top teams in the state, next Thursday night at 7:30. And if we get approval from the Lawrence North athletic director, we will be there, but we have not gotten that yet, so to be determined.
Yeah, hopefully we can bring that to you guys, and hopefully the Royals will come in on a 12-game winning streak, but can't get too ahead of myself. So we're only in the second quarter.
Yeah, lead has been cut to 6 by the Bulldogs, and now with possession, trying to continue to gain some momentum with 2.5 to go until halftime. And no foul against Busilla.
Good job by Luke Lacey to keep the ball dribbling and not get the travel call.
Some sloppy possession here as Lacey tries to settle the Bulldogs down and resets the offense. Bragg now with it. Taking their time are the Bulldogs. Royals playing good defense. Drive inside. Jumper is good from McGowan. He has played well tonight.
Yeah, he has. He's made very efficient time of his minutes and gotten some points up for Brownsburg, where a slow start, but now only a 4-point
Another
deficit.
turnover by Busilla, just a bad pass, and back the other way. Bragg misses the layup, but the follow is good from Tyree Lackey. And all of a sudden, Turner, it's a 2-point game. Brownsburg with the momentum.
Yeah, Brownsburg on a 20-12 run after the 10-0 start by the Royals.
That 2-3 zone is working for them, and another turnover. A fight for the ball, and that's off of McCall. And it will go over to Brownsburg. They're going to have a chance to tie or take their first lead after HSE got off to the big lead, and now Brownsburg could have it going into the half.
Yeah, a little bit of shift of momentum here. As you can sense, Brownsburg getting a little more confidence as they're mounting this comeback. Let's see what they can do here on this possession.
We've talked a lot about the Brownsburg turnovers, but HSE's up to 8 with their turnovers. As we're under a minute to go here in the first half, a nice drive up and in.
Great drive and a great move that got the Brownsburg.
Yeah, Tyree Lackey. And it is tied here at HSC. We'll see if the Royals hold for the final shot. And at worst case scenario, they'll go in tied.
And as long as Brownsburg doesn't put any pressure on the ball handler, they can stay out there for as long as they want. And it looks like they're just going to be waiting it out.
Coach Satterfield cannot be happy with the second quarter. Royals played a great first quarter, but Brownsburg has won the second quarter, and both coaches are probably going to have to make some adjustments at halftime, and we'll see who can get the advantage going into the second half. And stay with us during halftime. Our very own Tristan Fleur will be doing a halftime show. As 5 seconds left, Hornbuckle looks to make a play, and no good on the shot. And that will end the first half. And after the first half, 22-22, as both of these teams look to go into halftime, make some adjustments, and try to get some momentum coming out of halftime. Great job by Brownsburg, though, coming back in that second quarter.
Yeah, after that 10-0 start especially, it looked like HSE, if they could hold, was going to get now move on the winning streak to 12, but now 22 all. We've played 16 minutes, and it's back to 0-0 again, so we got to play 16 more. And as this halftime, we go over a little bit of stats, and then after that, we're back to the third quarter action.
Yeah, and we just want to remind you that tonight a Hoosier Crossroad Conference champion, regular season champion, will be crowned. If Brownsburg wins, they win the title outright. If HSE wins, they will get a share of it. So obviously a big night, as well as it's senior night. Big night for HSE, and they go into the half against Brownsburg tied at 22. Once again, Tristan Fleur will be doing a halftime show here in a couple minutes, and Turner and I will see you back right before the second half for the remainder of the game. But before we do that, we want to remind you that Southeastern Sports Network is made possible by Sky Zone Fishers this year. Come in and fly with them this winter. Sky Zone Fishers off 121st Street, reminding you to have fun and fly safe. A big shout out to Sky Zone, who's sponsoring every broadcast for all three sports seasons this year for SSN. And SSN's winter sports coverage is brought to you by Jimmy John's on Oleo Road. Jimmy John's provides freaky fast service in-store or through delivery. A big thank you to Jimmy John's for the support of Southeastern Sports Network. Tristan Fleur will be back with you in a moment. Game tied at 22. Stay with us on Southeastern Sports Network.
Hello, Royal Nation, and welcome back to Southeastern Sports Network. The score is tied at 22. My name is Tristan Fleur. It's a pleasure to be with you tonight for the halftime show of this matchup between the Hamilton Southeastern Royals and the Brownsburg Bulldogs. In the last 22 meetings between these two teams, the series is tied at 11 wins each since the 1997 to 1998 season. Brownsburg has won the last 3 games against HSE, and the Royals' last win was against the Bulldogs coming in 2016. Last year, the Bulldogs beat the Royals at Brownsburg 70 to 54, with Malik Edmonds putting up 19 points for the Bulldogs. As a reminder, here are the scenarios for the Hoosier Crossroads Conference Championship tonight. If Brownsburg wins, they are the outright Hoosier Crossroads Conference champions. If HSE wins, they share the HCC title with Brownsburg. Going over a little bit of stats, it's really the story of 2 quarters for the Royals, as they had a 15-5 lead in the first quarter, and then we come to halftime and it's 22 to 22. Brownsburg went on a 13 to nothing, and Brownsburg has amassed 9. It's been the story of turnovers. You got to look for Coach Satterfield to go ahead and tighten up on the turnovers, as Vinny Busilla so far has 2 turnovers for the Royals, and Mabor Majak also has 2. So far tonight for shooting, Mabor Majak is perfect from the field, 5 for 5 with 11 points overall as he made a free throw. And Cole Hornbuckle has 4 points. 2 players also have 2 blocks with Cole Hornbuckle and DeAndre Rhodes, each having 2 blocks. For the Brownsburg Bulldogs, there have been Lucas with 3 free throws made, only 1 free throw missed for both teams combined. Luke Lacey has made 2 two-pointers. Jack McGowan has 4 points, and Malik Edmonds also has 4 points. There's been a lack of rebounds so far, as most teams the turnovers have led to not much rebounding for both teams. I'd look for that more in the second half as there are less turnovers assumed in the second half because of the way these two teams are going to play. You're going to get more rebounds, and you're going to get really that rebound advantage start to come in. That's where Mabor Majak's height could come into play. As the HSE cheerleaders performance is wrapping up, we want to go ahead and say thank you to our crew here tonight. Tyler Groves on play-by-play, Turner Graves is color commentator, Lee Cook is production, and AJ Brisbane is camera. Once again, this has been Tristan Fleur for the Halftime Show, signing off.
Welcome back to Hamilton Southeastern High School, where the Brownsburg Bulldogs and the Hamilton Southeastern Royals are tied at 22 with just over a minute to go until the start of the second half. And Turner, something we failed to mention in the first half, the junior standout Pierce Thomas for the Bulldogs is not playing tonight. Normally averages right around 15 points a game. Had a huge game in their last win against Noblesville. And he is out tonight, so the Bulldogs playing a little bit shorthanded, and it showed early as they were down big against the Royals. But after the Royals went up 22-9, the Bulldogs went on a 13-0 run to tie it, I should say, at 22 going into the second half. Turner, if you're Coach Satterfield, what do you need to see to get the Royals back in the winning direction?
Yeah, I think HSE and Coach Satterfield need to bring out some energy in this second half. You know, the momentum right now is probably all on Brownsburg's side, considering they did finish, as you mentioned, a 13-0 run. So I think HSE needs to make some big plays, stay smart, but have the ability to make some big plays and get the crowd back into this and make sure to get some momentum back on your side early and see if we can get a lead out and start this third quarter.
And turnovers is definitely going to be something to watch in the second half, as Brownsburg had a lot of them early, and then HSE caught up to them almost with some turnovers in the mid and late second quarter that sparked that Brownsburg run. And the change to the 2-3 zone has also been working for the Bulldogs. As we start the third quarter, the seniors back out there. Of course, it is senior night for the Royals.
Sorry.
No, you're good.
But this is the lineup that got the Royals out to that 10-0 lead, so let's see if they can make some damage here early in the second half.
It'll be interesting to see if they can get off to another great start. Inside to Majak, and he misses the shot. And back the other way for the Bulldogs is Lacey, and now back outside, and they look to get their offense going for the first possession of the second half.
And sadly, that miss does end Mabor's perfect shooting night. It's still very efficient.
And a three-pointer is short. Nice boxing out, I should say, by Majak. Malik Edmonds, no good on the three-pointer. Coach Lynch wasn't too happy on that shot selection.
Yeah, it looked like they were trying to get something else inside maybe, or definitely not that shot. Yeah, as you said, Coach was not satisfied, and now HSE looks to take the lead.
Royals led the whole first half until Brownsburg tied it with less than a minute to go in the first half, so Brownsburg has yet to lead tonight. As inside to Rhodes on the baseline for a mid-range jumper is no good. And a rebound by McGowan.
And earlier in the first quarter, those were the shots that the Royals were hitting. And they just need to find their shooting here.
And McGowan will shoot a three and gives Brownsburg their first lead of the night. And a 16-0 run now as it has continued into the second half for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, sometimes teams just need to see the ball go in the hoop to get some momentum and get some confidence back, and HSE has yet to see that.
And the ball movement has slowed down as well. Not as many passes, and it's staying on the perimeter, and the Royals are stagnant.
The Royals were getting everything to go inside, and obviously as we see, the Brownsburg has focused mainly inside and in the paint, trying to deny the ball from Mabor, and really has worked really well.
And now inside to Rhodes, who will shoot the jumper. No good. Majak with the rebound. Three guys around him. He gets fouled and will go to the line for two.
Yeah, very impressive there. Mabor out-rebounded three Brownsburg defenders. And obviously he is 7 foot, but still very tough to do. And hopefully he can get rewarded here and get HSE on the board for the second half.
Majak is no good on the first free throw, averaging just around 12 points a game. And Busilla checks in for Michael Veely. And Majak is able to convert the second free throw and cuts the lead to 2 for the Bulldogs.
And as we've seen throughout this season, Vinny Busilla, often a spark plug for this Royals team, could hit a big shot and get some momentum back on their way. Hopefully he can do that now.
And a foul looks to be against McGowan on the push on the rebound.
was his second foul, along with Malik Edmonds, who has 2 for Brownsburg.
The game has definitely slowed down, Turner, the pace of it. We saw early in the first half when the Royals were making their run, it was a lot quicker, a lot of faster pace. Brownsburg was turning the ball over a lot. Now Brownsburg's playing good defense and forcing the Royals into the half-court offense, and it has not been as effective. As Hornbuckle for 3, no good.
Yeah, and obviously with all those Brownsburg turnovers, created the fast break offense for the Royals, and they really took advantage in the first half, especially the first quarter, but have yet to see that here.
And McGowan, an awkward shot, no good, and rebounded by Rhodes. Busilla trying to get something going for the Royals. And now to Hornbuckle into the corner for Elliott Robinson for 3, no good. Gets his own rebound. And now Busilla for 3. And Royals have gone cold, and an offensive foul against Majak.
Yeah, and that's 3 or 4 straight misses for the Royals from outside. And as we saw how dominant they were on the inside, Brownsburg has forced them to move the ball outside of the perimeter and forced them to shoot. And as we've seen, HSE is not knocking down any of their shots, but we know they can. It's just a matter of when will they find their shot as a team.
Well, and if you make those shots, Turner, the inside is going to open back up because you're going to force them to come back out, and they're just not hitting it. As a three-pointer in the corner is good. Brownsburg with all the momentum after the three-pointer by Malik Edmonds forces Coach Satterfield to take a timeout as Brownsburg has opened up a 5-point lead, and this crowd is very quiet, Turner.
Yeah, early in the game we saw they were getting loud for senior night. Everybody was excited, and now, as you were mentioning, the student section is standing but producing very little noise as we move further into this third quarter and becoming less and less confident.
And as we break, a big thanks again to Sky Zone and Fishers for their sponsorship of Southeastern Sports Network this year. And we also remind you that Jimmy John's and Fishers on Ole Road is supporting Southeastern Sports Network winter sports coverage this year. We want to thank and give a shout out to Jimmy John's for the support of Southeastern Sports Network with their sponsorship of the winter sports season. Royals down 5, 28-23. We'll be back with you in a moment on Southeastern Sports Network. Royals down 5 with the ball. We'll see if Coach Satterfield made some adjustments in that timeout to get the Royal offense going.
And a much-needed time for HSE as they have gone extremely cold.
And Busilla held it for a moment now to Rhodes. Gets fouled, and he'll go to the line.
Yeah, a good start when you're in a little bit of a scoring drought is make your way to the line. They're easy, some easy points. Hopefully DeAndre can knock these down.
And short on the first one and doesn't get the roll is Rhodes. Majak missed the front end of his 2 free throws, and now Rhodes missed the front end of his. See if he knocks in the second, and the second one's long. Fight for the rebound goes to Brownsburg and Edmonds. So Royals get nothing out of that possession and now look to turn up the defensive pressure.
And coming out with a little bit of a full court pressure.
And Hornbuckle went for the steal and leaves a three-pointer in the corner. No good. Rebound, though, by Brownsburg. Tipped out by Mabor. But they keep possession, and a nice acting job from Connor Lucas on the foul by Hornbuckle. He sold that one to make sure he got the call.
He did, and it worked. With that full court pressure, as we saw from HSE, forced Brownsburg to make a couple hectic passes, and HSE was a couple inches away from getting a steal a couple times. And hopefully just a little bit quicker and we can get those steals and force some more turnovers.
McGannon's able to handle the pass. McGowan, I should say. As Bragg now with it, going against Busilla. And now an open three-pointer in the corner is no good. And Brownsburg wanted to travel against Busilla. No call, and the Royals have possession. Since that midway point in the first quarter, Turner, Brownsburg is stuck in this 2-3 zone, and it's definitely slowed the Royals down and seems to be working.
Yeah, their on-ball pressure has greatly increased since the first quarter, and it's really forced HSE to make some maybe not as smart decisions as they want to.
Yeah, as Hornbuckle had the open jumper, just missed it. And those are the shots you're going to get in the zone you have to knock down. And the Royals just aren't doing that right now.
Yeah, the best way to beat a 2-3 zone is just great shooting. And HSE has not been able to convert on any of their looks, it seems.
And Brownsburg's done a much better job in this second half, holding on to the ball and not turning it over, which has obviously cut down on the Royals' fast break opportunities. As now almost an open three-pointer. Decides not to take it, and a foul on Hornbuckle. Ran right into the screen and picks up the foul. Royals still down 5. Trying to pick up the defense as Lucas inside, blocked by Rhodes. And here's a fast break opportunity for the Royals to Majak for the slam dunk.
And that'll get the crowd on their feet. They've been waiting for a long time.
As they have been, Turner, and we'll see if that gets the Royals going. Lead has been cut to 3. We're under 2 to go here in the third quarter. Conference championship is on the line. Brownsburg wins, they win the outright title. HSE wins, they get a share of it. As a three-pointer is good.
Wow, McGowan's playing a great game tonight. As he hits down another tough shot.
Yeah, Malik Edmonds, huge three-pointer to quiet the crowd. And a big momentum shift as it seems as the Royals maybe we're going to get some momentum off the dunk from Majak, but he puts a quick end to that as the Royals try to respond. And into Majak, and he hasn't been able to get much going into the post as he was in the first quarter. And a bad pass by Busilla gets deflected out of bounds by Luke Lacey and will stay with the Royals.
And there are more of those cross-court passes that we saw get intercepted so much in the first half.
And a timeout taken by Coach Satterfield, and we will take the break with them. Royals down 31-25 with under a minute to go in the third quarter. We'll be back with you in a moment on Southeastern Sports Network. And welcome back to Hamilton Southeastern High School as we look once again at our boys basketball Hoosier Crossroad Conference winners in the history of the HCC. As you can see, the Royals have won it 8 times. Brownsburg, 2-time winners. Royals have won it outright 6 times and have shared it twice. And Brownsburg has won it outright once and has shared it once as well. So trying to get their second outright HCC title. And they're on their way with a 6-point lead coming to the end of the third quarter. See if the Royals have some more fourth quarter magic as they did last week against Carmel. And a pass into Hornbuckle, and a foul and one. Nice pass from Busilla, and a great job by Hornbuckle to handle the pass and get it up and in as he gets fouled. And he'll go to the line for one more.
That's a great start. starting to shift this momentum, hopefully, as we end this third quarter. You mentioned the lead down to 4. Could potentially be 3 if he knocks this down.
Royals have struggled at the free throw line in the third quarter, but Hornbuckle is able to knock it in. And now a substitution for Brownsburg as Edmonds will come back in. As McGowan checks out, and for the Royals, Dalton Retzner checks in for Majak.
It looks like they're going to give Labor a little bit of extended rest with these 36 seconds left in the third quarter.
As Royals once again bringing the defensive pressure. As almost a deflection by Rhodes, and a jumper is no good. Rebounded by Hornbuckle, and the Royals will get the last shot with 20 seconds left, down 3.
Yeah, I would expect, as you said, for the Royals to slow this down. Hopefully make a big shot at the buzzer, as Alex Totten did against Carmel.
Yeah, last week at the end of the half. As Rhodes will shoot it a little bit early, but is able to knock it in. Lead down to 1. And we'll see if Brownsburg gets up a shot, and they do, and no good from Tyree Lackey. But the Royals have cut the lead to 1 after it was up to 6, 31-30 in favor of Brownsburg. And we will take a break until the fourth quarter. A conference champion will be crowned in just a few minutes. Stay with us on Southeastern Sports Network. And welcome back to HSE Brownsburg with the 1-point lead. But before the start of the fourth quarter, we want to remind you that Southeastern Sports Network is made possible by Sky Zone and Fishers this year. Come in and fly with them this winter, Sky Zone and Fishers off 121st Street, reminding you to have fun and fly safe. Big shout out to Sky Zone, who's sponsoring every broadcast for all 3 sports seasons this year for SSN. And SSN's winter sports coverage is brought to you by Jimmy John's. We can't thank them enough for their sponsorship of the winter sports coverage. And as we start the fourth quarter, Brownsburg with the ball, up 1, trying to win an outright conference title. Senior night for the Royals, the share of the conference title on the line for them, so both teams playing for a lot. There's a nice pass inside. Hornbuckle wanted the block, but he picks up the foul. And Edmonds, who's had a strong game, will go to the line for 2 shots.
Yeah, Edmonds with 10 points on the game, looking to push it to potentially 12.
And he misses the first free throw. And Edmonds does lead the team with 16 points per game, as his second free throw is also no good and out of bounds off of Lacey. And back over to the Royals. First possession for the Royals of the fourth quarter. And we've mentioned many times tonight, made a big comeback against Carmel last week, down 15 at one point, came all the way back in the fourth quarter to win. Only down 1 this week as they get it into Rhodes, as the Royals take the lead back, 32-31.
And with that bucket, the bench is standing up, and the crowd's making a little bit more noise as we go into the fourth quarter, and that'll be big here at HSE as the defense chants are coming out.
He's done a better job on the defensive end in the last few minutes. Lacey with it, looking to drive against Hornbuckle, passes it out. And a nice move, but Rhodes blocks it out of bounds. Tyree Lackey.
And that's going to be DeAndre's 4th block of the game. As we mentioned, a defensive threat as last week in Carmel, throughout the whole season, and especially tonight, it's made his impact felt.
Yeah, Lackey with a nice move against Dalton Retzner, brought Retzner to the floor, but DeAndre Rhodes did a nice job covering and blocking out of bounds as a
Were they passing it to Edmonds there?
I'm not sure what they were doing. They just passed it right out of bounds, and the Royals will take over. Just a unforced error. Pass it in the scores table.
It's not going to work out for them too much. As John McCall looks to check in at the scores table.
Royals try to build on their now 1-point lead. Majak inside will turn and shoot, no good. And an offensive foul against DeAndre Rhodes over the back. Tried to tip it up and in, but it was a little bit too physical.
And that's the Royals' 5th foul of the half. So 2 more will put Brownsburg in the bonus. So every foul will be a 1-1. And then if they reach 10 fouls, that will be the double bonus. So any team foul committed by HSE will be 2 automatic free throws for Brownsburg. And 2 guaranteed free throws, I should say.
Quentin Bragg with the ball as the Brownsburg Bulldogs try to get the lead back, down 1. The defense chance continues, and Sam Jacobs does a nice job staying in front of Lacey. As now Bragg drives against Busilla, and they just can't get up a shot as the Royals are playing good defense. And Brownsburg maybe looks to reset as Bragg drives inside. Nice hands by Hornbuckle. Fight for the ball. Busilla was able to get it. Now a timeout by Coach Satterfield.
And the Brownsburg coach is irate. They're saying the HSE didn't have possession when they called the timeout, but they're going to give it to them.
Coach Steve Lynch not happy with the men in stripes as a 30-second timeout taken by Coach Satterfield. And as we mentioned multiple times tonight about the conference champion winners, also something to note, Coach Satterfield is a 6-time HCC Coach of the Year. Last time he won the award was in 2014. Obviously had that great stretch with Gary Harris and Zach Irvin and Zach Gunn, who's now at Ball State.
Had a great run with a couple great teams.
Had a lot of regular season success as well as some postseason success. Never got the state championship, but did have some great seasons as Coach Satterfield has the most Coach of the Years in the conference. So definitely
shows a testament of how good of a coach he is.
Yeah, his first one coming in 2003 and his latest in 2014. So a lot of years of winning for Coach Satterfield and this Royal team. As Busilla will shoot a deep 3 and just too strong as Bragg gets the rebound for the Bulldogs. And now a 2 is no good as Jacobs gets the rebound. And now to Majak, who's unable to catch the ball, and it goes out of bounds back over to the Bulldogs.
Yeah, potential there for a Mabor layup or even maybe a Mabor fast break dunk, but couldn't handle the entry pass and the fast break and was ultimately ended up in a turnover. So just over 5 minutes to go here in the 4th quarter. HSE's clinging on to a 1-point lead. See if they can hold or maybe even extend this lead, but Brownsburg tries to answer here.
HSE's been up 1 for a minute, and it's been for a couple minutes, I should say, and as Brownsburg has been unable to score on the offensive end.
The HSE crowd won an over the back there, but they didn't get it.
Good strong rebound from John McCall. As we are under 5 to go in this Hoosier Crossroad Conference matchup, and one that will decide if Brownsburg gets the outright title or if HSE will have a share of it. We want to note again that Brownsburg is without Pierce Thomas tonight, the junior standout, who averages just around 15 points a game for them. As Busilla has it, he has not hit a shot yet tonight. Turner has 0 points. That's very rare for him. As a turnover for the Royals and a foul on McCall.
Yeah, as you mentioned, Vinny, with no points yet, I'm sure that'll change in these last 4 minutes and 20 seconds as we run down the stretch in a close game.
Brownsburg down 1, trying to get their offense going as Royal defense has clamped down against them in the last couple minutes. And a nice pass inside, but Majak's
Great
there for the block.
by Mabor.
It was almost a turnover, but luckily Busilla was right there to get the ball. As Busilla pulls it back out. And Hornbuckle, maybe the Royals killing a little bit of clock as they are up 1 with under 4 to go now, trying to wait for the right shot.
Right, don't want to rush anything here.
And a bad pass from McCall. Majak was almost able to get it because of his height, but Bragg the other way, no good on the layup. Hornbuckle's presence might have affected that layup.
A great effort getting back on the fast break and preventing the easy points. And now, as Vinny holds it about 2 steps inside of half court, with just about 3:10 to go.
And the Royals no shot clock in high school basketball, so they can hold it for as long as they want to and just drain this clock as they are clinging to a 1-point lead.
In a game like this where HSE and Brownsburg have both had their offensive struggles, Coach Satterfield's doing the right thing and telling their team to.
And Hornbuckle on the baseline, no good on the jumper, and a foul is called on Brownsburg. John McCall fighting inside for the rebound.
Yeah, but as I was mentioning, with both teams having their offensive struggles, draining this clock is going to do a great thing for HSE as they have the lead, since Brownsburg will have less possessions and then even less points if their struggles continue.
And it shortens the game as well.
And another important thing to point out, if there is a jump ball, HSE does have possession arrow right now as we get down to crunch time.
And Brownsburg extending their pressure just a little bit, make the Royals feel a little bit uncomfortable and trying to force some turnovers or quick shots to get the ball back. We're under 2.5 to go. Royals are content with holding this ball for as long as possible, it seems.
And now Brownsburg putting some on-ball pressure.
And back out to Busilla.
Trying to speed this up a little bit.
Doing the good old Bobby Knight, just hold the ball. The legendary Hoosier coach.
Yes. Great coach of the IU Hoosiers.
Oh, I cannot believe you just said that. I don't know if I can ever call with you again as Rhodes knocks down the jumper.
Just making sure you were paying attention.
According to Turner Graves, the Indiana Boilermakers.
It's all right. Produce the superior team. Anyway.
Oh, 5-time national champions. As Brownsburg takes a timeout, Coach Lynch wants to get something going as it's already down to 1 minute and 47 seconds left. Royals holding on to a 3-point lead, 34-31. And for the final time tonight, Southeastern Sports Network is made possible by Sky Zone and Fishers this year. Come in and fly with them this winter, Sky Zone and Fishers off 121st Street, reminding you to have fun and fly safe. A big shout out to Sky Zone, who is sponsoring every broadcast for all 3 sports seasons this year for SSN. And SSN's winter sports coverage is brought to you by Jimmy John's on Oleo Road. Jimmy John's provides freaky fast service in-store or through delivery. A big thank you to Jimmy John's for the support of Southeastern Sports Network. Turner 3-point game. We saw a close game last week for the Royals. What do the Royals need to do to finish off this game on the defensive end?
Yeah, I like their strategy of holding the ball and milking this clock as much as they can. But eventually, Brownsburg is going to force some pressure and make HSE shoot the ball and move their offense. So HSE needs to get some smart shots with this pressure that's going to come from Brownsburg and make sure not to get the turnover, because Brownsburg can tie this game with a 3. So a turnover and a fast break the other way could be deadly for HSE.
As Brownsburg will get the ball out of this timeout, have a chance to tie it with a 3 or cut into it, obviously, with a 2. And at some point, Brownsburg will start fouling the Royals if they remain losing.
Yeah, Brownsburg does have a foul to give before they get to the bonus.
We'll see if the Royals will be able to hit some free throws down the stretch. If it comes to it, almost a steal by Rhodes, and a 3-pointer is no good. Fight for the rebound, goes to Lacey inside, misses the layup, and Busilla fight for it, draws the foul, and it will go against Lacey of Brownsburg.
Yeah, great effort play by Busini. Vinny Busilla, if I can speak, as we've seen him have some offensive struggles, but never fails to make the effort play, and as we've seen, proves big with about a minute and a half to go. HSE up 3 points.
Maybe he'll go play for the Indiana Boilermakers, Turner.
Maybe so.
I'm never going to let you live that down. I just want to make that clear.
It's all right. I had Purdue on my mind anyway. That's why I said Boilermakers.
1:30 to go. Royals up 3 with the ball. Brownsburg extending the pressure. Royals get into Hornbuckle. Royals got to get over the timeline within 10 seconds, and Busilla seems pretty content of taking his time.
Got to get it across, and you do at the last second.
He almost carried it. And passing and being strong with the ball will be important, and they call a foul against Bragg.
Elliott had a wide open 3, but made the smart play of not taking the quick shot and passed it out to Vinny, who eventually got fouled. And now HSE will be in the 1-and-1 bonus.
Elliott Robinson, the senior, got to at least make the front end to make it a 2-possession game. First one is up and in for Robinson.
Yeah, big free throw there to extend this game to a 2-possession game, barring a 3-point-and-1 play.
As Robinson's second free throw is good. 2 big free throws from Elliott Robinson. The senior checks out as John McCall comes in. Maybe a little bit of a offense to defense substitution for the Royals.
Yeah, and Elliott's got that first spot on the bench, so expect him to come in very soon here for the Royals.
As we're approaching 1 minute to go, Brownsburg down 5, needs a bucket. As Cole Hornbuckle playing tight defense. Inside, layup is good for Malik Edmonds, and a quick timeout for Brownsburg and head coach Steve Lynch. And as we mentioned, Coach Satterfield's HCC Coach of the Year. Coach Lynch also won it in 2018. And so, great coach, 2 great coaches on display tonight for the Royals and Bulldogs. We'll remind you once again that if the Royals are able to win, they will win a share of the Hoosier Crossroad Conference regular season championship. If Brownsburg is able to make the comeback here in the last 57 seconds, they will win the title outright.
Just want to congratulate you on nailing Hamilton Crossroad Conference. Maybe I'm getting a little bit of cases of you last week.
Well, you can't even say it right. It's the Hoosier Crossroad Conference, and I did not say it right last week, but
it's all right. We all have our struggles.
57 seconds left. Royals with the ball. Expect them to get fouled. Let's see how long Brownsburg will wait until they give the foul. See if they can force a turnover, I should say. As Robinson with it, got to get it across the timeline. As there's the turnover, and the layup is up and in for Lacey, and they cut the lead to 1. Just a bad turnover for the Royals, and they're taking their time in the backcourt and maybe rushed it towards the end and get it across the timeline, and the turnover, a nice steal from Luke Lacey. Brownsburg has cut it to 1.
Yeah, Vinny Busilla just tried to split the double team and was unable to, but with that timeout, both teams are down to 1 timeout, I believe.
No, HSE has 2 left, and then Brownsburg has none. So that will be something to watch as Brownsburg, at least according to the scoreboard, has taken their last timeout.
Yeah, it might be a little bit of confusion. But hopefully that does stand true, as HSE will have 2 timeouts if they need him.
Royals up 1 with the ball, 43 seconds and 4/10 left in this ball game to decide the Hoosier Crossroad Conference champion.
Nice.
And they try to foul Mabor, and he turns it over. Didn't want to get fouled. He just passes it away. And now Brownsburg with a chance to take the lead with 25 seconds left. HSE needs a stop.
Yeah, HSE's offense has gotten incredibly sloppy in these last couple minutes. The pressure is getting into them.
And we're down to 15 seconds. Brownsburg down 1, trying to win the title outright. 8 seconds left. Inside, the layup is up, no good. The follow, no good. Still a chance. Lacey on the jumper, no good. And
it's
going
to be a foul.
And
1
the Royals
second
get the
left.
ball. The Royals have the ball.
Wow.
What a defensive stop by the Royals. Hornbuckle gets it. He gets fouled with 1 second left. We'll go to the line for a 1-and-1. Wow, what a stop for the Royals.
Yeah,
the Brownsburg Bulldogs had 3 or 4 chances at it.
HSE played great defense. Wasn't able to secure the defensive rebound, but played great defense on all of those shots.
And Brownsburg is out of timeout, so they're going to have to, even if Hornbuckle makes both, they're going to have to heave it and shoot a 3. Obviously, if Hornbuckle misses one, it's a 1-and-1. So, but it really wouldn't hurt to miss it with only 1 second left. It
would force a
very
full
quick
court heave.
Yeah. If he makes both, then Brownsburg will be able to toss it and to half court or 3/4 court and then shoot the 3-pointer. Important, though, if he does miss the free throw, that the Royals do not foul on the rebound.
Yes.
And I'm sure that's what Coach Satterfield is doing.
Yeah, you were talking, he just had the hands straight up, telling him, do not foul.
If I were him, I wouldn't even put guys in the on the lane.
I doubt they will.
I'd just stand back, and if they beat you on a full court heave or
So
tie
be
it
it.
on a full court heave, let them do it. And another timeout by Coach Satterfield.
All right. Looks like he didn't get all of his points in.
Wants to double check he has everything in order. 2 nail-biting games for the Royals. Last week against Carmel, 1-point win, and this week with 1 second left, we're in another 1-point game.
Yeah, 2 nail-biters, 2 great games overall. We've had a lot of momentum swings here early. HSE with a 10-0 lead to start the game, and Brownsburg responded to end the first half on a 13-0 run.
It's been a game of runs, as you mentioned, and Brownsburg had the lead much of the third quarter, and the Royals were able to take it back in the fourth. So it's swung back and forth all game as the Royals look to win their 12th straight game. Brownsburg currently on a 4-game winning streak, look to win their 5th straight game. And we've mentioned many times tonight the Hoosier Crossroad Conference implications. If the Royals can finish it off, they win a share of the conference title. Hornbuckle at the line for a 1-and-1. First free throw is good. 37-35 advantage for the Royals. 1 second left. Let's see if he misses this one intentionally or if he makes it and they just stand back and let Brownsburg chuck up a 3 to tie it at the buzzer. And Hornbuckle does miss it, and the heave will be
too short.
Way short. The Royals win a share of the conference title as they beat the Brownsburg Bulldogs 37-35. The Royals move to 16-5 on the year, continue their winning streak to 12 games as Brownsburg falls to 17-4. As these two teams will share the conference title. And an unbelievable game, unbelievable effort by both teams. HSE has come a long way since their 1-3 start and 4-5 start to now be 16-5. 1 game left against Lawrence North, one of the best teams in the state, next Thursday night at 7:30 p.m. We hope to bring that to you on SSN if we get approval from the Lawrence North athletic director. And that will be a good one as well. And then we go into Sectional 8 play. The sectional draw is this Sunday, February 23rd, 5 p.m. on IHSAA TV. And it'll be interesting to see where the Royals will go in sectionals as it is at Noblesville this year. But just what a night for the Royals. Senior night, they get the 2-point win, 37-35, get a share of the conference title. And this Brownsburg, they were a little bit shorthanded tonight without Pierce Thomas, but put up one heck of a fight. And even though they lose tonight, still do get a share of the conference title as both these teams, one's leaving happier than the other, but still both are kind of happy, if that makes any sense. But what a night for the Royals. Before we sign off, I want to mention our crew tonight. Myself, Tyler Groves, doing play-by-play. Indiana Boilermakers. That's all I have to say
It's
to
all
you.
right.
Turner Graves doing color commentating. Lee Cook doing producing. AJ Brisbane, the cross-country and track star for the Royals, doing camera. And Tristan Fleur was our halftime show and also doing stats tonight for us. And then our great SSN social media team, David Woods, Evan Miller, and Nate Kapek doing everything for social media tonight. And we cannot thank our crew enough. Our athletic directors, Coach Self, Coach Haubegger, and our great advisors, Mr. David Young and Mr. Jordan Klobuznik. But what a night for the Royals. The Royals win 37-35, get the conference or share the conference title, and we will hopefully see you next Thursday night. We will announce that soon, or as soon as we know if we'll be there for the Royals and the Lawrence North game next week. Thank you for tuning in. Royals win by 2. Signing off for Southeastern Sports Network. Have a great night.